Dool.
Thank you, Acting Deputy President. We're here again today. Many times we've been here, and the disappointment is how close we got at times. And it wouldn't be right to name names on things spoken of outside this chamber. But at one stage we got to an amendment that would have seen gas, coal seam gas, things like that on people's property thrown into the scope of this, something we agreed to. An amendment was going to be put, we were going to vote for it, and that vote would have got this across the line. And it fell short, it never happened, that was backed out of, and we're here again today. And Senator Scarr sat here and very eloquently went through the reasons. The Dyer report, 77 pages of shown failure. If I was introducing a product and I had a 92% disapproval rating of the way that product went in market testing, it would be put in the bin. If I had a product and it had an 8% approval rating of it would bring benefits to the buyers, it would be put in the bin. But what is this policy doing? It is accelerating, it is being fast-tracked, it is being rammed down the throats. And let's not pretend that the government is afraid of what the report will say. The committee we're sending it to will sit there and they'll go through this. It is not a majority of any particular group. It will go through the process. They're scared of what will be said in evidence to it. Not what the report might come and say. They'll be scared of even hearing the story. And as parents, sometimes we protect our kids from nightmares. We protect them from bad stories, we protect them from monsters, we protect them from the boogeyman. But this is the people of Australia that are being prevented from being told the truth because of the fear of what that truth holds. And the numbers we heard, 92% people who fear that the consultation on this process isn't good enough. Only 8%, 9% think that their community will benefit with these programs. A report hidden in Victoria saying 70% of agricultural lands will disappear to build these things. I have the people near my home in Port Stephens in the Hunter who we had a motion today talking about stopping PEP 11 where we might see 4 gas rigs off the coast of the Hunter. And there was, in that corner of the chamber, Acting Deputy President, there was consternation that 4 gas rigs might be off the coast pumping gas. But instead, 400 wind turbines, 280 metres tall, when offshore wind has never commercially been viable anywhere in the world, that's a good thing. This is the hypocrisy of this place. We hear that when we're out in Oberon, Central West Arana area, not Oberon, we're hearing that these kilometres of lines are going through revegetation areas, they're going through family farmlands, they're going through important environmental lands where people have been denied the ability to farm for years because of the state of those lands, but they're okay for transmission lines. In Oberon, we're seeing towers put on top of cliffs 600 metres tall, another 285 metres on top of that, almost a kilometre above the mean ground level, and that is okay. We've seen ex-Senator Bob Brown come out against these wind towers. We've seen other Greens campaigners come out against the transmission lines because they see what's happening. That is the evidence they hear, fear coming from the people. Illawarra, they hear about the offshore wind down there coming forward. VNI West, where I'll be there in a couple of weeks, we're hearing about a political decision to move the line hundreds of kilometres away because it suits some politicians, but it doesn't help suit the landholders. We have all through the New England and New South Wales wind farms going up here and wind factories going up everywhere. This is the whole point. They call them wind farms because it sounds nice. They are industrial installations in rural areas. And these people cannot have a voice for the fear of truth in this building. Not a fear of a report, not a fear of legislation, the fear of truth. And have we become so brittle in our country now that we can't hear those truths? Never mind do anything about it. Have we become so fearful that we will not give those people a platform to speak their truth? Because all throughout the people I talk in New South Wales, from the New England, through Port Stephens, through the Illawarra, through out in Oberon, out through Arana Central West, That is all they are asking for at the start. And we can start finding solutions. This is what we're not looking at. Anyone can find a problem. Some of these people have solutions. The way we negotiate the land, the way we acquire land, the height of these wind turbines, the distance from the houses, the distance from property, all of these things put through. Can we, instead of acquiring an access lane where it comes through and takes up the land and takes a while, can we acquire the whole property and the value and the business for a cheaper rate than rediverting a line or anything? All of these things have to be... We have to become a parliament of solutions, and this is hard. We get it. But some of these solutions may be contained there. So this will now not go to a vote tonight. It will go to a vote later this week. And I would ask that we walk in to hear some truths. I'm not coming here and throwing aspersions here, there on what money's here, what money's there. That will happen. This process will happen. 28-day environmental impact statements to study 900-page documents is not enough. Getting black paper bags with compulsory acquisition notices on your fence and gate is not good enough. Not having a say on how this happens because we're using the state compulsory acquisition laws that are not just terms like the federal is not good enough. Promoting this race to programs, and I sit in here and I hear very good arguments when the people against nuclear say, oh, there's not this built in the world, it doesn't exist, you're making something up. But on the other side, there is no commercially viable floating offshore wind farm in the world. There is no commercially viable green hydrogen electrolyser in the world. But we have to take their word for it that exists. I am prepared to take the leap of faith on those things, but we can't take a leap of faith on reading these people. So we have seen, and I'm not for conflating numbers, there weren't thousands out the front, there were hundreds out the front, large hundreds out the front on this. But the number in Mr Dyer's report doesn't lie. They represent the thousands of people that couldn't come here because they are trying to make a living on the farm. And just stick with those numbers. 92% say this is failing as a process. Only 8% see real benefit to the communities of this process. That's not even the consultation. 77 pages of failure is the result of the report we were told we were waiting for here, and yet the answer is the same. No to this study. And people can argue this is about politics. But the no is about politics as much as the we want it is about politics. We don't want to hear the disaster stories is about politics because it might interrupt a program we're happy with. No one's thinking about the improvement it can make to that process. No one's thinking about doing this. Australia's a big country. There's room for everything. Except our policy seems to be punishing Australians for others. And if we are a chamber that cherishes truth, if we are a chamber that cherishes Australians, we shall stop, we shall think about this, we shall invite these people to our building and ask them, what can we do better for you?